Picture this. You own a full acre of land. Plenty of space most people only dream about. Yet every week you're still loading the kids into the car for that familiar grocery store run. The fridge fills up, the bill hits your account, and the cycle repeats. It doesn't have to be this way. For generations, families thrived on plots far smaller than an acre, growing, raising, and preserving nearly everything they ate with simple, time-tested methods. The real barrier today isn't poor soil, harsh weather, or lack of money. It's the invisible one staring back at you from your own backyard. A scattered, random layout that wastes space, creates endless chores, and leaves frustrating gaps when most one-acre homesteads end up with a vegetable patch here, a few lonely fruit trees there, chickens tucked in a far corner, and big stretches of lawn that only cost time, gas for the mower, and nothing in return. Meanwhile, the average American family of four is quietly spending $1,200 to $1,430 or more every month on groceries. Over $15,000 a year that could be staying in your pocket. The good news? A smarter, more integrated design changes everything. It's by organizing your land into 5 core functional layers, you can build a reliable year-round food system that supplies fresh vegetables, fruits, eggs, meat, honey, and herbs season after season. This setup helps reduce or eliminate many grocery purchases for items you can produce right at home. If you want to learn exactly how to set this up on your own property, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, as I walk you through the complete 5-layer system in the next few minutes. The common challenge on one-acre homesteads. Take a look at typical one-acre properties, and you'll often see the same. Scattered setup. A vegetable patch in one spot, chickens somewhere else. A few fruit trees planted without much thought, and large sections of lawn that only demand mowing, fuel, and time while producing nothing edible. Meanwhile, the average family of four spends $1,200 to $1,500 or more monthly on groceries according to current USDA moderate-cost food plans, easily exceeding $15,000 a year. This figure includes everything from fresh produce and proteins to pantry staples, and it continues to rise with inflation and supply chain pressures. You have productive land sitting right there, yet you're still paying full price for food that could be coming from your backyard. This is mainly a design and integration issue. Without a connected system, harvests stay seasonal and inconsistent. Animals and plants don't support each other effectively. Nutrients are lost instead of recycled, and plenty of potential goes completely unused, forcing you to rely on external sources month after month. Why these 5 layers work? Traditional small-scale farmers worldwide arranged their land so that each part fed the next. Kitchen scraps went to animals. Manure improved soil, and healthy soil grew more food. Many families thrived on half an acre or less with almost no external inputs, relying entirely on intelligent placement and natural cycles that minimized waste and maximized output over long periods. Modern permaculture built on these time-tested patterns by emphasizing efficient placement, stacking functions, and creating closed loops where every element serves multiple purposes. On 1 acre, distances are ideal for everything to work together smoothly without requiring excessive walking or transportation of materials. The 5-layer system below groups the key elements into practical, overlapping areas that create a living, self-supporting food machine adapted for today's American homestead. Each layer is positioned relative to the others to encourage synergy, reduce labor, and ensure continuous production even through challenging seasons. The 5 core functional layers. Layer 1. Intensive daily harvest area. This is the heart of your daily fresh food supply and should sit closest to your back door, ideally within 20 to 30 feet. The close proximity is essential because it encourages frequent visits and consistent maintenance, turning what could be a neglected garden into a highly productive daily resource. Focus here on quick turnaround crops you use every day: salad greens, culinary herbs, tomatoes, peppers, radishes, green onions, and leafy vegetables. These crops are chosen specifically because they mature quickly and provide immediate returns on your time and effort. Apply succession planting. Start new plantings every week or 2 throughout the growing season so you have continuous harvest instead of one big flush followed by long gaps. This technique ensures a steady supply rather than feast or famine cycles that force you back to the store. In zones 6 to 7, use simple cold frames or hoop houses to extend cool season crops like spinach, kale, and lettuce well into fall or early spring, often adding several extra months of fresh greens when many other gardens are dormant. These low-cost protections make a significant difference in extending your harvest window without expensive infrastructure. Keep your primary compost bin right in this layer so kitchen scraps move straight from the counter to the garden with almost no effort, closing the nutrient loop right at the point of highest daily activity and preventing the common problem of compost piles being ignored because they are too far away. A single well-managed 4 by 16-foot raised bed in this area can produce 150 to 250 pounds of fresh produce annually when managed with succession and proper soil building. Most 1-acre properties easily have room for multiple beds like this, allowing you to scale production to meet family needs while keeping everything highly accessible and efficient. Layer 2. Perennial Production Layer. Place this just beyond the daily harvest area, roughly 30 to 100 feet from the house, where it can operate, with less daily attention but still remain convenient for harvesting and observation. Build a stacked, multi-layered planting that works on autopilot once established. Tall canopy trees such as Honeycrisp or Pink Lady apples, Bartlett pears, Red Haven peaches, or plums. Smaller understory trees like figs in protected microclimates or mulberries. Shrub layer with blue crop blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, or serviceberry. Ground level covers including strawberries and clover. In USDA zones 6 to 7, these varieties thrive with the balanced winters and warm summers, common across much of the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic, providing reliable yields with minimal intervention after establishment. The layering mimics natural forest systems, where each level captures light, nutrients, and space differently, resulting in higher overall productivity per square foot compared to traditional row planting. After the first 2 years, maintenance drops dramatically because perennials are self-sustaining once their root systems are developed. Even a quarter-acre section can yield thousands of pounds of fruit and berries year after year, creating a dependable source of calories, vitamins, and natural sugars. Windfall fruit and prunings naturally feed into the livestock or compost systems below, turning what would be waste in a conventional setup into valuable resources that support the entire property. Layer 3. Livestock and Fertility Building Layer. Locate this area near both the perennial layer and the daily harvest area so animals can contribute directly to soil health through their natural behaviors and outputs. Include a small poultry setup. 6 to 8 hens work well for a steady supply of eggs, often 5 to 7 per day, adding up to nearly 2,000 eggs annually. Use a deep litter system in the run so bedding and manure compost in place over time. Then spread the finished material as rich fertilizer on garden beds. Choose hardy breeds like Rhode Island Reds or Orpingtons that handle the temperature swings in zones 6 to 7 with ease, reducing stress and health issues. Add a compact rabbit area, 1 buck and 2 dozen about 30 to 40 square feet. For efficient meat production, rabbits convert feed exceptionally well and produce cold manure that can go straight onto beds or into worm bins placed underneath the hutches without risking plant burn. Worms turn the manure into high-quality castings that boost garden fertility dramatically, while extra worms provide protein for the chickens. This layer turns animal waste into garden gold and reduces purchased feed significantly, as chickens and rabbits utilize garden scraps and fallen fruit, creating multiple income streams from eggs, meat, and improved soil that benefits all other layers. Layer 4. Pollination and Preservation Support Layer. Position beehives along the edge where the perennial and daily harvest layers meet so bees naturally travel across the entire property, maximizing their foraging efficiency. 2 hives can supply 20 to 50 pounds of honey per year while dramatically improving pollination, often increasing fruit and vegetable yields by 30% or more through better flower visitation and fruit set. You'll also gain beeswax, propolis, and pollen as useful byproducts that can be used for homemade candles, salves, or supplements. Pair this with a dedicated preservation and storage area, a garage corner, basement shelf, or simple root cellar. Equip it for canning, dehydrating, and cool storage of root crops, squash, and onions. In zones 6 to 7, strong root cellaring works especially well for overwintering potatoes, carrots, beets, and winter squash because the moderate climate allows for natural cooling without excessive energy use. Basic equipment can be set up for under $200 and turn summer surplus into reliable winter food, preventing waste, reducing spoilage, and keeping your table full year-round even when fresh outdoor production slows. Layer 5. Boundary and resource layer. Use the outer edges and perimeter of your acre for productive support. Plants that serve as the outer shield and resource generator. For the inner layers, plant fast-growing species suited to zones 6 to 7 such as comfrey, which can be cut 4 to 5 times per season for abundant biomass, mulberry, black locust, or autumn olive as nitrogen fixers, and other biomass producers that grow vigorously with minimal care. These boundary plants deliver 3 main benefits. Chop and drop mulch to build soil organic matter and suppress weeds. Supplemental forage for livestock that cuts down on external feed costs. And natural windbreaks. Plus privacy screening that protect inner layers from drying winds and storms, helping retain soil moisture and reduce plant stress throughout the seasons. Start with inexpensive cuttings or bare root stock, which are widely available and affordable. Once established, this layer provides free resources for decades with very little ongoing work, essentially paying you back through continuous mulch, feed, and protection that supports the productivity of every other layer on the property. How these layers connect into one system. When properly placed, the layers create natural closed loops that mimic healthy ecosystems. Kitchen scraps from layer 1. Feed livestock in layer 3. Manure and worm castings. Build soil for layers 1 and 2, improving structure, water retention, and nutrient availability over time. Fallen fruit from layer 2 feeds animals while reducing pest issues. Bees from layer 4 boost production everywhere by ensuring better pollination rates across fruits, vegetables, and berries. Preservation in layer 4 bridges the seasons by converting abundance into stored goods. And the boundary plants in layer 5 supply mulch and extra feed while acting as a living fence. Nothing sits idle and almost nothing is wasted, resulting in a resilient, low-maintenance system that continues to improve year after year as soil health builds and cycles become more efficient. If you're finding this layout valuable so far, do me a quick favor. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the season-by-season planning guide I'm releasing next. Adapting these layers to your USDA hardiness zone. Zones 6 to 7 are among the most common for U.S. homesteaders and offer excellent versatility for a wide range of productive plants. Always confirm your exact zone by zip code on the official USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map, as small variations in microclimates can influence success. In these zones, focus on reliable performers like Honeycrisp apples and highbush, blueberries that deliver consistent yields with good disease resistance. Colder microclimates within the zone may need extra wind protection or mulching for tender roots, while warmer pockets can support a few more tender varieties like figs. When given south-facing placement and winter shelter, taking time to observe sun patterns, wind direction, and frost pockets on your specific acre will help you fine-tune placements for maximum output. My experience putting this together. A few years ago, my own acre was a collection of disconnected projects. The garden was too far to tend daily. Animals weren't near the trees or compost, and I was still spending hundreds each month on groceries despite growing some food. Tasks felt overwhelming because materials had to be hauled long distances, and resources were wasted instead of recycled. After reorganizing into these 5 overlapping layers over one off-season, daily tasks became easier and more enjoyable. Resources cycled efficiently without extra effort, and different parts began supporting each other naturally through integrated flows. Within a full growing season, my monthly food expenses dropped noticeably, not because I doubled production overnight, but because the system finally worked as a whole instead of separate pieces, eliminating many of the leaks and Inefficiencies that have been costing time and money. Avoid these common setup mistakes. Placing the daily harvest area too far from the house. Convenience drives consistent care and higher actual yields. Growing heavily in summer without a solid preservation plan, leading to waste and winter shortages. Planting fruit trees in shaded spots or without proper spacing for your region, resulting in poor fruit set and long-term disappointment. Trying to install every layer at once. Start with layer 1 and layer 3. Then add the others gradually over a couple of seasons to avoid burnout and ensure each part is managed well before expanding. What the mature system feels like. You walk out your back door and harvest fresh ingredients for meals from layer 1 with minimal effort. Chickens and rabbits are already working with yesterday's fruit drops and scraps, turning potential waste into fertility. Worms quietly improve the soil beneath the surface. Bees move across the property, increasing every harvest through superior pollination. The outer boundaries grow free mulch and forage without extra effort, shielding the inner areas from extremes. Your acre now supplies a diverse, nutritious supply of food across all seasons. Your grocery spending shrinks dramatically as dependence on stores decreases, and you gain real independence from fluctuating store prices and supply chain issues that affect so many households today. Which of these 5 layers are you most ready to start with on your property? The daily harvest area, the perennial layer, or the livestock area? Drop your answer in the comments below and let me know your USDA hardiness zone too. If this 5-layer approach makes sense for your homestead, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these practical systems. Your 1 acre has more potential than most people realize. With the right connected layout, it really can become a reliable year-round food system for your family. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to support us. Welcome to abundance. Welcome to healthy food. Welcome to happiness. The world is a better place because of you. Subscribe. See you on the next.